Hey everyone, I am Kevin Ioli. Thank you for joining me. It is my pleasure to have a return guest here on the show. He will be fighting on September 27th, of course, on ESPN at Madison Square Garden in the theater. He is fighting Sulaiman Segawa. Of course, I'm talking about the elite featherweight prospect, Bruce Shu Shu Carrington. Shu Shu, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Um, Man, I'm just super excited. I'm super excited for this event. I've been waiting for a fight like this to really prove myself and make continue to make statements in my featherweight division and let everyone know like I'm ready for the world titles whenever they decide to want to fight me. But yeah, I'm ready, and yeah, I see myself as a contender now instead of a prospect.
No longer a
Do
prospect, but now a contender. Yeah, so
yeah.
let's look at the rankings. I mean, ranked number 4 by the BO, ranked number 7 by the WBC. So certainly you're up there. And I know in talking to the great Carl Moretti, the vice president at Top Rank, he had mentioned to me that, hey, he would love to see you down the road, maybe get a shot against Naoya Inoue, who is not just a one-time undisputed champion, but a two-division undisputed champion. I don't know how realistic that is, but is in a way even a guy that's in your sights at all?
As of right now, I'll say I'm just focused on the featherweight champions. That right there is like a fantasy fight for me. Um, Whenever Inoue decides to want to come up to featherweight division, then I'll lock in on that. But as of right now, like I'm not focused on that, and I don't want to chase that fight either. I want to be able to be known as Bruce Shu Carrington, not the guy that calls Inoue out. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own person, and people are gonna know my name because of my name, because of the work that I put in and my performances that I put in. But small correction, I do want to point out that the rankings have been updated. Number 2 in the WBO, number 2 in the WBC, number 10 in the IBF, and number 1 in the WBA.
So
So we're up
I
there.
just pulled up these ratings here. What am I looking at? I got the wrong ratings up. I'm looking right at them.
Yeah, man. You got the outdated version.
I pulled up the outdate. Okay, well I'll let the man correct me on that one. I apologize, but I looked at those and I thought I had it right.
It's
So
all good.
I apologize. But let's talk a little bit first about Segawa. He fought Ruben Villa last time. He's 17-4-1. Not a lot of power, southpaw, 6 knockouts. But you were at his last fight, and apparently you saw something that you said, hey, I need this guy. Tell the story of how this fight got actually made.
Oh man, well, I feel like when I've watched Sagawa fight, like I've always been watching Ruben Villa. Like I'm very familiar with him. We've grown up in the amateurs together and whatnot. So I was interested with the fight with him down the line, and I felt like once he fought Sagawa, that fight might have happened probably like this year or something like that, right? But Sagawa, he came in and just stopped the show. Like, what I mean? He came in there and what it wasn't so much the fact that he beat Ruben, it was how he beat him. It was the fact that he showed a lot of tenacity. He showed a lot of courage, a lot of, dominance. Like he was just catching Ruben Villa with a lot of shots that I did not expect Ruben to get caught with. So I was like, whoa, like this dude is like really impressive. And he has some good feats in his record as well too. Like he fought Elijah Pierce, beat Elijah Pierce. He's fought some tough guys, and he's the type of opponent that I need in my career on my resume to continue to climb up that ladder.
He got stopped by Jermaine Ortiz, but he has that's the only time he's been stopped in his 4 losses. Fought Abraham Nova, so he's been in there with, like you say, with some good guys.
Mm-hmm.
So does that put a little pressure on you for to perform?
Of course, is that that puts some pressure on me for to perform and to see how I'm gonna do with this guy. But you know, I perform well under pressure. Like I like to say, pressure makes diamonds. And I know, like I see myself as a diamond in the rough. So yeah, we're gonna definitely show that there's levels to this game. No disrespect to any boxer that Sagawa has fought or has lost to, but I'm going to make this fight look easier than any other fight that he have lost to. Like I'm gonna be how I'm gonna come up with supreme dominance. Supreme dominance is my goal.
When you look, I had referenced before we started recording that I had seen you at the Tank Davis fight. When you look at a guy like Tank Davis, to me, like a really consummate professional, a guy who is known for his punching power, but he also has the ability to break guys down and knows how to box and should be a complete fighter. And I think, kind of correlation I wanted to make to you is, maybe, hey, you have that complete game that people aren't giving you credit for, right? Like that, people think of you one way, but it's like all of a sudden, maybe, do you think they're going to start recognizing, hey, this dude is not just a one-dimensional type fighter, but he's a guy that, however you want to play it, he can go with you.
I mean, I would hope that they're thinking about that now, because I've already shown both of those sides. Like, I would say I've been on this knockout tear, if you want to call it, since I want to say December of last year with Jason Sanchez. But before that, like, I was showing a lot of boxing, like, you know what I mean? I was showing like a lot of footwork, and I think I had a fight in Tulsa, Oklahoma before that in October of last year. And I feel like I put on a boxing clinic. Granted, it was aggressive boxing, but I was like, really just taking my time, showing my IQ, showing my movements and angles and whatnot. And I felt like that fight should have let people know, like, oh yeah, he's a good technician as well too, other than just a guy that's going to go in there and knock you out. But it just is what it is. At the end of the day, I just want people to know and believe that every single time I fight is going to be an entertaining fight, and I want it to feel like an event instead of just another boxing fight. Every single time Shu Shu fight is an event.
And one of the things, like I just put up your record while you were talking. So you're coming off an 8th round stoppage of Brian DeGracia. But I think what people maybe missed is, one judge had you winning 6 of the or 5 of the 7 completed rounds. Another judge had you, or the other 2 judges had you winning all the rounds, right? So you look back and it looking like you're winning. Not only are you stopping guys, and you mentioned you're on that streak, but you're winning round after round after round. It's not like you're catching them with one shot.
Right. And that's always been my game, though. You know what I mean? I would say that's always my game. Like, granted, if I get that one punch knockout, it happens, it happens. But I always want to break a guy's will down. Like, be able to just dismantle a dude and take all their best gifts away from them, and sometimes even use it against them. Like, I get like so much satisfaction from that. So yeah, that's always been my game, and you've seen that a lot that last fight.
Are you a talker in there? Like you let the opponent know, hey, what's going on, and giving them a little bit of this?
I've had moments where I've done it. Yeah, like let's say if I'm really like just beating a guy down to where he's not trying to throw punches. That fight that I referenced back in October. Right. I was like, there's a point where I'm like, come on, let's go. I'm talking to him, but when I'm in the ring, I don't talk that much, per se. I don't really talk that much, but I get in my moments though when I do kind of get a little chippy, and that's when I'm really just in the zone.
Right, exactly. You referenced before you're no longer a prospect, that you are a contender. Does that change the way you have to look at the other fighters in and around your division, right? And it's not just growth and development anymore, but it's winning impressively, and knowing who else you may see, down the road now?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And that alone adds more pressure. It's not just that you're just going in there like, okay, we fight this style and just get the experience. Like, now it's like you have a job to do. You got to entertain these fans. You have to, really make a statement and get yourself in position to where everyone's like, listen, he deserves the title shot. And that's what I want. And that's what I'm going to keep striving for. Obviously, when I get to a certain point of, success, I won't have to do that anymore. But will I? Of course, I'm gonna keep entertaining the fans, man. I gotta keep entertaining the fans. So that's one of the main things. That's one of my values, man. Like, I really love to put on a show.
You were from Brooklyn, right? And one of the things I want to ask you about, because I just think it's so crazy, and I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I have a Brooklyn boxing person here in front of me, is the greatest of all the Brooklyn boxers, Mr. Mike Tyson, has got a fight. So you were, what is he? How many years older than you is Mike Tyson, right? I mean, I think Mike was in his his early 30s when you were born, right? So you know, he's got some time on you. What do you make of the fact that this guy is still going out there and fighting? He's fighting a 28-year-old guy in November. Like, what does that mean to you as a person that I know you grew up hearing about the legend of Mike Tyson?
Yeah. Well, granted, but I will say I was blessed to see some of Tyson's fights before he retired. You know, so I grew up watching it. I can say that I grew up watching him even before I started boxing. But to see him back in the ring after all this time, that lets you know how much he still has in the tank, how much he loves the sport of boxing, and just how much he loves to fight. Like, and I relate to that so much because I really love to fight. Like, I really just like, you got to put me out the ring. You know what I mean? That's how I look at the sport of boxing. I love this sport, man, and I'm a student of the game. So when I see Mike Tyson, like he's a student of the game. When I see him like still testing himself, like with a guy like Jake Paul, he's young, you know, a guy that's actually getting better with each and every fight. The more experience he gets, the more dangerous he is. This is a very interesting, you know, situation. But I'm betting the house on Tyson. Every single time I got to bet the house on Tyson. You never ran everywhere.
Well, let's wrap with this then, Shu Shu, because, you know, I think it's an interesting thing. You know, Mike was the prototypical, you know, tough guy boxer. And, you know, he intimidated a lot of people in his day. When he was at his prime, there were fights that he won before a punch was ever thrown, right? Because the other guy was about to melt.
Baddest man on the planet.
You, like, at least in media and public and what we see, you're not that. You're the nice guy, the smart guy, the good talker, and all those kind of other things, right? Is there a badass side to Shu Shu Carrington that we don't see, that, hey, when you're away, that, you know, you're getting into guys' heads and you're intimidating people?
Dude, no, like the Shu Shu, the Bruce Carrington that you see here, like that's me every single day. I only bring the bad guy out when I'm inside the ring. Like the bad guy shows when when I'm inside the ring. Like that is when you see the aggressiveness, like my face, like just my energy, everything just gets really aggressive. I pour all the energy in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So and that's why, you know, I've been putting on these performances and getting these knockouts that I've been getting because of all of that just pent up aggression that I have and everything like that. Just, you know, when I take something negative from this person and from that person, I just kind of just bottle it in. Yeah, I let it out on my opponents, man.
Give me your stare down look. Let me see. When you're standing here against Segawa, what's that stare down look?
Man, listen, I don't know. When I get in those face-offs, bro, I don't know what comes over me, bro. I just, a face-off with me and him, I don't know, man. It's nothing like I can tell you what's gonna happen. Like, obviously nothing outrageous, but I would just be prepared for any type of BS that anyone will ever try to do to me. Because I'll be seeing like some guys be getting a little ballsy and built up enough courage to do a little something just to get some views on the internet. Just not be prepared for it. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna say on that.
Remember to get the W first before you worry about views on the internet. September 27th, ESPN, you will see Bruce Shu Shu Carrington against Sulaiman Segawa. That should be a fun fight. Shu Shu, always a fun time talking to you. Wish you the best, brother.
Yeah, same here. Thank you.
Thank you.